Hey there, everybody. Welcome into this edition of ESPN FC's Extra Time. Frank, Don, Ale, Seb, here with you. You got me all fired up talking about the Open Cup before we started Extra Time.
But you're talking in a third person now?
I'm here. I'm here as well.
Okay.
Just some guy.
You're that guy now.
All right, Natum's interior decorator chimes in with the first question here. For all, is it time for Bayern to move on from Tuchel and bring in Hansi Flick to salvage something from this season? We talked about it on the show. Frank, what do you think? Should they pull the plug on Tuchel?
Yeah, I think it's a time for him to leave. But like anybody else who, I don't understand. It's like a fashion stuff where coaches are saying before the end of the season what they're going to do at the end of the season. As soon as you do that, you create something special in the dressing room and also in the fans' brain where you're not concerned anymore. And especially when you don't have results, it can be good for Jurgen Klopp because he has results, and we all know what he already did, in the past. But for Thomas Tuchel, that's the end of it. As soon as you say, I'm going to leave, no, you should leave right now because you're not concerned anymore, and you should let somebody go and try to save something. So if it's Hansi Flick, why not? Or any other. But I think it's your time is over.
Would another manager really make a difference with this Bayern squad?
Well, I think there would be a reaction from the team at the very least. Right now, Bayern Munich are, and we described it in the coverage of the game, in purgatory. They're neither here nor there. It's a team that doesn't really know what is it that they're playing for. The Bundesliga seems to be gone. Realistically, I don't think they have a chance there, and Champions League seems to be difficult as well with the level of play. But that's still out there as a possibility. And how are you going to get a reaction? Well, you're not going to get it from Thomas Tuchel because the players already know he's gone. He is gone. And if a manager is gone, the players are no longer interested in what he has to say.
Let's turn our attention to the English title race. Amin asks, for all, who will drop points first? Arsenal, Liverpool, or City? Don, I'll start this question with you.
Oh. Arsenal beat Sheffield United this weekend. Comfortable. I mean, Sheffield are leaking goals, so put them down for a 5. The tricky one, I think, of all of them, I think Man City beat Man United by 4. I think the tricky one for Liverpool with their... Even though they've got Szoboszlai back, they still haven't got Salah back. They're still carrying 1 or 2 injuries. Forest can be a tricky place for Liverpool. They're not in great form, Forest, but it can be quite a hostile atmosphere. I remember Liverpool struggling there last season. So if I was to answer the question this weekend, potentially Liverpool.
Frank, you agreed with Don on the pick between Manchester City and Manchester United. Are you going to risk it and do it again? Do you think Liverpool will be the first between Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester City to drop points in what's left of the Premier League season?
Hard to answer. I mean, you already asked our prediction for Manchester City, Manchester United. So if I say that it can be tricky for Manchester City, where I said in a prediction that they're going to win 4-0, but I'm all over the place. So I won't say that. But I always thought that Arsenal were the least ready to cope with the situation and the pressure because of still their inexperience in that level comparing to Liverpool and Manchester City. So I would have the tendency to say that Arsenal will start dropping points before the 2 others. But I agree with Don, it can be tricky for this weekend for Liverpool as well. What we saw lately after winning the Carabao Cup and the game that they play at Anfield after, they're ready to respond. So I think I'm going to keep a slight less good opinion about Arsenal than Liverpool.
Okay.
Let's say that they all win this weekend. Doesn't City play Liverpool next weekend?
Yep.
That's correct.
Yep.
So one of them or both of them may be dropping points.
There you go.
I'm just saying.
They could both drop points, and then Arsenal would.
I'm just saying. I'm just playing math here.
Onana said it took him 6 or 7 months to feel good at Manchester United. How long did it take you to feel good and or comfortable when you joined a new club? What was your...
Well, I must say that perhaps for those of us in Major League Soccer, it's a little bit different because you can actually get traded in the middle of a season. So you could start a training session on a Tuesday with your current team. That training session is over, and you get pulled over into the office and say, we just traded you to wherever.
Did that happen to you?
Yes, it most certainly did. And so guess what? On the Wednesday or even that night, you're flying over to the other city. On Wednesday, you're training with the new team. And by Saturday, you're playing with the new team. So it's very much a part of the reality of a player in Major League Soccer, and very much part of the reality of sports here in the United States. Being traded is part of it. So I think, sadly, you kind of get used to the idea that this could happen to you. You better be ready to play for another team right away.
Don, how long did it take you to settle in with a new team?
Oh, about one day. I miss those days. I miss those days.
Even Millwall?
Well, no, I never settled there. No, when I was a young lad at Liverpool, it obviously took me a long time, but the older you get, the easier it is. But I miss those days before we had transfer windows. Back in the day, you could get traded, as Ali says, at any given time in the Premier League. That's the way it was in the early days, and I thought it was amazing for it. No, I was always all right settling in pretty quick.
Frank, Craig said you were famously shy in your first few months at Chelsea.
What? Huh? Nah, you know, it took me like, yeah, sure. It took me like 2 minutes to settle down to every club that I signed for. I was in Laval, and I signed in November, I think late November, because my daughter was born like a week after we landed in Strasbourg. And I won the game on the Friday. I scored the goal. My daughter got born, so it was done. Then I signed for Chelsea, and after three games, I was the top scorer of Chelsea, being a defender, and we had the best defense. So I would say, like, 2 minutes. That's pretty it.
So what took Don one day took Frank 2 minutes, huh?
Of course it did.
Yeah. I score goals, done. That's what I do. That's
for Frank,
right there,
actually. Next question is for Frank. French manager edition of start,
Here we go.
bench, drop.
Here we go.
Arsene Wenger, Didier Deschamps, Aimé Jacquet.
Oh. If it's a personal choice, I definitely go for Aimé Jacquet first because he picked me. And after I go for Wenger because he's really a legend, and Didier Deschamps because he was only my teammate. But now, as a pundit point of view, you have to go for Didier Deschamps. I mean, what he did with the national team, but before with Marseille, when he became champion of France, and didn't happen for a while. What he did with Juventus, when he brought Juventus back to the Serie A, is simply amazing. I mean, the guy is a hard worker, and he deserves all the credit. Arsene Wenger, again, is a legend. I mean, what he did in Monaco, and after he went to Japan and did very well, and went to Arsenal and changed the club, dramatically changed the club, and made Arsenal, if it's not the biggest club, one of the biggest clubs in the world. And then Jacquet, because Jacquet is nostalgia. What he did with Bordeaux was amazing. Of course, what he did with France in that World Cup, preparing his team as a club, was simply amazing. And he deserves all the credit. But I have to put Didier first, Arsene Wenger second, and Aimé Jacquet third.
And Frank, what is the best decision that Aimé Jacquet made in that World Cup?
Oh, you know that. Waiting for the right final to put the right guy.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. And we're done. And we're done.
Stevie's pocket change. Don, in a hypothetical final that was played tomorrow, put your Serie A hat on for this one. Who wins?
Yeah.
This year's Inter or last year's Napoli?
Oh, what a question. What a question.
Well, which one had a Mexican international on it?
Oh, here we go.
No, what a question, because Napoli last year were blowing everyone away by 4s and 5s. That's exactly what Inter are doing this season. I mean, it's an amazing question, and it is hypothetical, so I've got to give an answer. I would say last year's Napoli.
I'll tell you what, the best question that we can ask right now is, where is Don, and where did the setup, the beautiful internet setup he had before, and now we're into this in which we don't know whether he's going to stick around or not.
In percentage terms, Ali, there's 0 percentage terms of my internet lasting for the remainder of this show. I'm in a hotel in Stockley Park. I've just finished a few hours ago a Saudi game. Then I'm relaxing tonight. Then I'm on Forest Liverpool tomorrow. So I'm in a hotel in the middle of nowhere with my bed just calling me over there somewhere. There it is.
All right. Okay. Well,
There it is.
Okay. There we go.
Calling those Saudi games, you'd think he could afford some internet, you know, is what I'm saying, but I don't know.
I've paid for it. What more can I do? I've paid for it. What more can I do?
Work? I don't know.
I'm just saying, everybody seems to be making money in the Saudi league. Apparently not done.
All right, last question.
Internet.
From Steve Nichols, Ground Beef. Frank, what would you rather, a Ballon d'Or or an Academy Award for Best Actor?
Oh, what a question.
Again, that's against my philosophy of life in those matters. In football, having a Ballon d'Or doesn't mean anything because you share the field with different positioning, different position, and also different players. And without the players, you cannot be the one. You cannot be the GOAT. And you need the others. So you can be the best player in your position, but you cannot compare positions and compare Messi with Sergio Ramos at its best. That's impossible. Doesn't mean anything. For a leading actor, Oscar, again, without the script, without the director, without the how do you call that? The guy who put the editor, you are nobody. You are nobody because you know when you are not good, they can take you from the back, and you become very good from the back because we don't see your face. You know what it is? That's what it is for me in movies. So you can be a very good actor, and I can name actors, great actors that you can take on in the first take and face to face, and they are like that. But you cannot forget the story. You cannot forget the directing, the lights, the editing. At the editing, the guys should be stars because they get you when they need you and when you are at your best. And you don't forget that you need the others to make it work. So again, it doesn't mean anything. And when I hear, oh my God, that guy is good on this movie. Yeah, how many takes it took? How many takes did he need to be good? 1, 5, 50, 100? That we'll never know.
Look at Frank shouting out the editors. There's some production assistants pretty happy about that.
Because when we do extra time, we're supposed to answer the question. Was there an answer there from Frank?
No answer.
I think he hates individual awards. I think that's the answer.
Okay. Ali, my answer is because the Ballon d'Or is too late for me. Let's hope for an Oscar. We never know.
Let's go.
And if you doubted Frank's acting, the answer will be found if they're taking the shot from behind.
Right. Then you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah, I might have a chance. I might have a good chance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Imagine if our show could brag about not just having a World Cup winner, but an Oscar winner as well.
And all in one person.
It's the same person. It's the same
all
person.
in one
right.
person.
Oh, what a
And
moment
we're
that
done.
would be.
And voila.
What a moment that would be.
Voila.
We'll have to hold our breaths. All right, that'll do it for this edition of Extra Time. Thanks to Frank and Don. Ale, thanks to you
thank
as well.
you.
Thanks to everybody for sending in your questions. We will be back tomorrow for another fun edition of ESPN FC. Hope to see you then.